In the aftermath of World War II, Japan faced profound challenges, with its economy left in shambles due to the devastating impact of the conflict, including the dropping of atomic bombs. The economic and emotional toll on the nation was immense. Adding to the humiliation, the United States assumed administrative control of Japan through peace treaties, not only overseeing day-to-day operations, but also establishing American military bases throughout the country. While proponents argue that this intervention was aimed at aiding Japan's reconstruction, skeptics posit that the United States sought strategic influence over Japanese governance and society, as well as a heightened military presence in the region. Over subsequent decades, Japan would undergo a remarkable transformation from being one of the weakest and poorest nations globally to becoming the second-largest economy, trailing only the United States. Economists and historians attribute this miraculous recovery to Japan's robust education system and growth-oriented economic policies. From its roots as a primarily agricultural nation in the 1960s, Japan rapidly evolved into the world's second-largest economy by the 1980s. The country excelled at producing high-quality goods at efficient prices, exporting products such as Sony Walkmans, Japanese cars, and popular electronics worldwide. Japan's manufacturing prowess propelled companies like Sony, Canon, Nikon, Toyota, Mitsubishi, and Honda to global prominence. However, the rapid growth and dominance of Japan's economy drew concern from the United States, whose hegemony was being challenged. In 1985, the US, along with its allies, signed the Plaza Accord with the primary goal of strengthening the Japanese yen to make Japanese exports less competitive globally. As the yen appreciated, Japanese exports became more expensive, leading to a decline in overseas demand for Japanese goods. This was particularly damaging for Japan, as exports were a crucial driver of its economic growth. Industries such as automobiles and electronics, which heavily relied on exports, faced a decline in sales and profitability. And prior to the Plaza Accord, Japan experienced a period of rapid economic growth, accompanied by a surge in asset prices, particularly in the real estate and stock markets. The strengthened yen, however, contributed to bursting this asset price bubble. As asset prices collapsed, it triggered a financial crisis and undermined the stability of Japanese banks, leading to a banking crisis. The consequences of Plaza Accord were significant. Japan's economy experienced a downturn, an asset bubble burst, and its global standing never fully recovered. 3 decades later, the effects are still palpable, and Japan's economic growth stagnated, maintaining its position as the second-largest economy for over 40 years behind the United States. It wasn't until 2010 that a neighboring country emerged as the harbinger of change, surpassing Japan to claim the coveted title of the world's second-largest economy. This transformative force was none other than China, ushering in a new era in the global economic hierarchy and reshaping the dynamics of power on the world stage. In 2010, China surpassed Japan to claim the position of the world's second-largest economic power, trailing only the United States when measured by GDP in current dollar terms. The United States maintains a substantial lead, with its GDP being 2.5 times larger than that of China in the same year. Before initiating economic reforms and liberalizing trade nearly 4 decades ago, China adhered to policies that left its economy impoverished, stagnant, centrally controlled, highly inefficient, and relatively isolated from the global economic landscape. However, since embracing foreign trade, welcoming investment, and implementing free market reforms in 1979, China has consistently ranked among the world's fastest-growing economies. The World Bank has characterized its real annual GDP growth, averaging 9.5% through 2018, as the fastest sustained expansion by a major economy in history. This remarkable growth has allowed China to double its GDP every 8 years on average, lifting an estimated 800 million people out of poverty. China has also emerged as the world's largest economy based on purchasing power parity, a leading manufacturer, a significant merchandise trader, and a holder of substantial foreign exchange reserves. Presently, China stands as the largest trading partner for over 140 nations. With a GDP reaching approximately $18 trillion, it surpasses Japan's economy by a factor of 4, India's by 6 times, and the combined GDP of the 10 Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, by 6-fold. China's economic size is 10 times that of South Korea and 12 times that of Australia. Its GDP, comprising about 80% of the United States, surpasses the combined GDP of all 27 countries in the European Union. According to the International Monetary Fund, as of 2023, China commands a share of about 18.5% in the global economy, contributing roughly 35% to the world's overall economic growth. As China continues its robust economic growth, a major concern looms large on the horizon. The United States perceives China's ascent as a significant challenge and potential threat. Consequently, the U.S. has rallied support from its allies to thwart any potential rise of another country to superpower status. This containment strategy is evident in actions such as the trade war and stringent export controls imposed on China. In 2017, the Trump administration initiated an investigation into China's innovation and intellectual property policies, deeming them detrimental to U.S. economic interests. The response included a 25% tariff hike on $250 billion worth of Chinese imports, with China retaliating by imposing tariffs ranging from 5% to 25% on $110 billion worth of U.S. imports. These measures markedly reduced bilateral trade between the two nations in 2019. With the transition from Donald Trump to Joe Biden, the U.S. stance on containing China persisted. The battleground shifted to semiconductors in the ongoing technological competition. In 2022, the Biden administration implemented export controls aimed at ensuring the U.S. maintains a substantial lead in this evolving technology race. These restrictions target China's burgeoning technology sector in 2 key ways. Firstly, they restrict China's access to advanced semiconductors crucial for data-intensive artificial intelligence models, supercomputers, and hypersonic missiles. Secondly, the measures impede China's ability to develop cutting-edge chips by preventing the use of U.S.-built semiconductor design and manufacturing equipment, including essential electronic design automation software. Beyond trade restrictions, U.S. businesses are being encouraged to decouple from China. Despite a record $690 billion in U.S.-China trade in 2022, there are indications that both nations have significantly reduced the share of imports from each other. Chinese goods, which comprised 16.6% of imports in 2022, witnessed a notable decrease from 2017. Simultaneously, the share of American exports to China also experienced a decline. Drawing lessons from the U.S.'s isolation of Russia's economy post the Ukraine invasion, China is wary of becoming overly reliant on exports to America. Likewise, U.S. leaders are cautious about granting China access to the nation's most advanced technology in the event of potential conflict between the two nations. This intricate geopolitical dance underscores the evolving dynamics in the global economic landscape. In addition to the aforementioned developments, China is presently grappling with an economic deceleration. As China's economy has reached a more advanced stage of development, the pace of its real GDP growth has markedly declined, dropping from 14.2% in 2007 to 6.6% in 2018. Projections from the International Monetary Fund indicate a further dip to 5.5% by the year 2024. Recognizing this shift, the Chinese government has embraced the concept of slower economic growth, terming it the new normal. This acknowledgement underscores the necessity for China to adopt a fresh growth model, emphasizing reduced reliance on fixed investment and exports and a greater emphasis on driving economic growth through private consumption, services, and innovation. Gazing into China's future in 2024 sparks a crucial question: how will this economic powerhouse navigate challenges in a shifting global landscape? Will it continue to thrive or face stagnation, just like Japan's past? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, express your support by hitting the like button, and for more intriguing content, be sure to subscribe to our channel.